we're on.
Well, good evening. We are live, late with Lussetto.
Yeah.
Well, one of them anyway. So hopefully Greg will be joining us shortly. How's everything going your direction, Jazz?
Oh, staying busy, tying up
good.
loose ends to get the season started.
We're getting closer, aren't we?
Yes.
Getting contracts signed and sent back to you and everything else.
Still chasing those.
Are you?
Yeah. The pre-entry program is up and going this year.
I seen you release that late last week.
Something like that. I'll say Ellen's got it out on the outlawpulling.com website.
And what is the process for that then? Printing that page off and filling it out and then just mailing it back to you?
However many hooks you want to prepay for, you just X amount of hooks at X amount of hook fee, which class, vehicle name, and then mail it back into Ellen in the Rock Valley office.
Oh, okay.
So
then with doing that, will a person still have to pre-register at the polls then, or?
Yeah, you will still have to
Get
register on the app and whatnot, and then you still have to physically check in at the table. You just don't have to pay.
Okay.
Like show up, sign the waiver, get your wristbands, and.
So when you sign up for that or whatever, or fill that out, then do you fill out the polls you know you're going to go to, and that's what you check off then, or?
No, it's more like a tally mark type deal. You just pay for X number.
Okay.
They're not listed by event. It's just this class has 15 hooks. This class has 8 hooks. Trying to see if I can pull it up. Oh. There he is.
He is alive.
I am alive. I'm dirty, and I got to go back to work here in a little bit. But
so we were just going over the process of the pre-entry program this year.
Okay.
I was trying to pull up the form itself.
Yep.
Share screen. Let's see how this works.
Okay.
I don't know how well that shows up, but yeah, so it lists the classes and then the hook number and then the hook fee. And then at the bottom, it just has class and number of hooks, total paid, and then vehicle name.
Okay.
So that, they'll put that into the app so that it recognizes, if you owe or not when you get to the event.
Okay. And then do you fill out a sheet for each vehicle you have then?
Most likely be the easiest way to do it. I know there's several lines on there for totals, but whatever's.
Yeah, I just see there's one vehicle name or whatever there at the bottom. Yep. So I didn't know if you needed to fill one out for every vehicle or.
I would say most likely.
Yeah, it'd probably be handier.
So I have not actually seen any of these filled out before, so.
Well, that'll
be the first time, so.
What?
Will be the first time for us, so.
Yeah, well, and these sheets still get mailed into Ellen too, so.
Yeah.
I still may not see them.
And then they just enter that, and then it'll be on your laptop.
Yep. So it'll be like, you prepaid, you're good, and then if you run out of prepaid events, it's like, oh, you owe. You went to all of them. So.
Yeah.
And hook fees are the same this year as previous year.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay.
On the Heartland Division classes.
Right.
I can't speak on the national side.
I can't either.
So
What's new with you, Greg?
A lot.
Really? Well, do tell.
Not really. Same old stuff. Just a lot of it to do.
Yeah.
One thing I will bring up, and I talked to Dan just briefly about this today. We had a late poll. Looks like it's going to drop on the list. We're going to be working on classes with them. We have a verbal agreement, but we're going to. We've got a really long weekend in August, so be
it's not
patient with
even a
Jazz
week.
and I, if nothing else.
It's a whole week.
Yeah. We have a deal shaping up. It looks like it's going to be a 5-day swing. We'll be ending up, it looks like, on Sunday, August 11th in Broken Bow, which will be an event that I have pursued for a long time.
Oh,
Do we lose audio on him?
we did. Try again, Gregory. I can read his lips.
Yes.
Uh,
No, Broken Bow was actually trying to get on the schedule last year in September.
yep.
And due to date conflicts and availability, opted to wait till this year for more options and more time to get something together.
Well, and that'll be another nice event to add to the central part of the state. You know, where
I
we're
like
kind
that
of
it's nice and close to Palmer.
Yeah.
Tagging on the end of that weekend, there's a
Yeah.
lot of back and forth across the state that week. For us, anyways.
But at least to end the week, you know, we can pull in Palmer on Saturday, and it's not like we're driving 5 hours to a hook on Sunday. You know, so that'll be nice.
The one thing I will try to do is I'm going to be visiting with some guys in certain classes to see that we don't have to make people jump across the state. Like, I mean, Jazz and I will probably be doing it, but you know, maybe Dan, but probably not everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that place has got a great facility. We pulled there years ago. Good track, great fairgrounds. That event could turn into something very nice.
Yeah. And another great location. You know, to fill that central Nebraska void we've had.
Yes, absolutely.
So, no, I look forward to pulling there.
We've got one other addition that it's too early to talk about, but it's a possibility of us adding the class into a national pool, which will be something else that we'll be working on. So it's kind of crazy that mid-April, most times stuff's done, but there's still stuff happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Apparently, your kid's home from her track meet.
Oh, yeah, I know. She just called me. You may have noticed.
But no, that's good. That's just showing how much more demand there is for pulling and how much more popular it's getting, you know?
Yes.
So.
Yep, no, for sure. So, well, we're certainly looking forward to it. You know, Jazz might have you just run through the schedule quick because the schedule is interesting this year. We've lost a few events, gained a couple. But what's crazy is there's some weekends where we don't have stuff that generally we have been very busy.
Really?
Our schedule is updated on the app.
Okay.
As far as dates and locations. However, the last year's results are still up.
The update's not complete. We'll just leave it at that.
Mm-hmm. Is there many changes they're making to the app compared to what we have seen?
I
can't answer that. I don't know.
Okay.
There's a couple, you know, there is some changes in some of the people running it. There's also there's some pretty large changes behind the scenes going on with the Outlaw TV, which I don't know or have all the details, but it'll be interesting to see the upgrades and the changes there.
Yeah, I don't know how logistics change if they do.
I do believe I did read that the people that have subscribed to it, in April here, all the subscriptions will be canceled since they're moving platforms, but they should be reinstated here, you know, before too long.
Well, and then all the previous footage,
will be transferred over.
Will be uploaded. Yeah.
Yeah.
But schedule wise, we have Ashton July 6th, and then Albion July 9th. July 13th, we are splitting David City, Nebraska, and Douglas, Wyoming. Then to Lexington, Nebraska, July 14th. Then North Platte, July 20th. Mitchell, Nebraska, July 31st. Cheyenne, Wyoming, August 3rd. Neely, Nebraska, August 4th. And then a few days off.
Hang on. I want to add something to Neely. One thing I'm looking forward to there. They approached me about growing that pole, which it's a very neat pole. Love the facility. Pit parking is a little rough, especially when it rains like it did last year, but they are adding a national class of the light mods, which I think will be a great addition to that pole.
Yeah, that'll be nice there.
Yes, continue on, Jazz.
Okay. And then Goodland, Kansas moved dates on us, so they are Wednesday, August 7th. And then West Point, Nebraska, August 8th. Hemingford, Nebraska, August 9th.
Yay.
Palmer, August 10th. And then Broken Bow, the 11th. And then Imperial, the 15th. And then Randolph, Iowa, August 24th. So, few comments rolling in.
What's that?
I said there's some comments coming in.
Okay.
Brian Fear will be at Neely.
Yeah.
Good.
His partner in the tractor has relatives there. It sounds like they're very excited about that deal. So
good.
It's a fun time. Dwayne's checking in from Wright City, Missouri. Rhinos are delivered.
The great animal whisperer.
Dale says Broken Bow is an hour and a half from Palmer.
Correct. Hour and a half. It's an hour and a half the right way for me, Dale.
Me too.
Yeah.
That will be nice.
Just so everybody knows, that week, even though it's pretty brutal, if you really look, like Goodland's a west show, Hemingford's a west show. We have a fair amount of separation between the two groups, except for
they're just brutal on us, who has to be back and forth. Dale says wrong direction for him.
Yeah.
Dwayne says the new small block Mopar is finally in his possession from North Carolina for a new tractor.
Good.
Be nice to get.
It'll be nice to have another brand represented there because,
yes.
I mean, except for David Mink down in Arizona or, those tractors previously here, I don't know that there's been a small block Mopar, so that's pretty cool.
So backing up a little bit, Adam Serve is asking about classes in Broken Bow.
Yours, Adam.
I will say the conversation I had with them, we agreed on a contract price for me to work on the classes. That is something that I'll be reaching out because, there'll be a few certains like classic mods and pro stock 4x4s and probably light limited pros, but then we'll try to fill in with the guys that want to come because just like I had conversation with them, I do not want to put a class in there that, like if some of the classes are hooking Thursday and Friday and Saturday and they, want to head back home rather than driving an hour and a half west, we'll do our best to accommodate our pullers. But
well, that's nice working with you on that too.
What's that?
And it's nice that they're willing, opening that up for you to help decide what they should have.
That helps bring them good numbers for their show too.
Yep.
Dale says he's in though, even though it's the wrong direction.
Awesome. Yeah, it's expected.
I say we should have him quite a bit more announcing for us this year.
Poor guy's one of us.
Yeah.
What he signed up for.
Yes.
And then is that Mitchell hook really start at 2:00 on a Wednesday?
That is okay. So whoever updated the app for me, since I don't have my laptop, just updated the dates. So where Mitchell was previously on a Sunday afternoon,
we're rescheduled last
rain out date. that was at 2, but I'll have to go
Oh.
back through and reset all the start times as we get
Okay.
those figured out. So
Yeah, that's one thing. Jazz is going to be flying blind a little bit. Her laptop each year gets sent back to Iowa to get re-updated. And
no, this year it's in Milford.
oh, that's right. Okay,
So it's closer.
Yeah.
closer.
But I have been without it since November. So I sent it with Lori after the
Banquet
to save
I
on
don't
shipping.
remember.
You were busy.
Yeah.
You were sick.
Yeah. I
That
don't
too.
remember for different reasons than Dan, but
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, souvenir books coming together.
And we have reached that deadline, correct?
Yeah, so now it's just sending proofs and updates back and forth with the printers, getting everything in the right order.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very much looking forward to that. Jazz, have you touched on the coloring book?
I'm gonna say tomorrow was my deadline to get everybody's pictures and stuff. So
For the Young Guns
Young Gun coloring books
program is putting out a color book for the kids that they're going to give out to the Young Gun pullers to hand out at the
their
event.
trailers.
I think it's going to be a very neat deal.
Oh, nice.
Dwayne. Yes, they did. Yes. Adam Serve says his heads were delivered this week, damaged, and have to be sent back.
Oh no.
Lord. He confused me with heads. It's not everybody.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, case guy, I forgot.
So
he's early at least.
yeah.
Yeah, it's better than a couple weeks before you need them.
Yeah. So Dwayne has 1 or 2 new classic mods on the works. Do you know, Dan?
2.
2.
One for him, and then one for Jeff Whining.
Oh man. Okay.
So, yellow sheet metal.
On whining.
Both.
Oh, very cool. And then that'll be man, he's gonna need one of those stacker car trailer things.
Or some Australian doubles or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
right.
Ooh. Yeah, and then hopefully he gets his smoker done too. Hopefully.
Oh man, someday. Yep, that'll be great.
Oh, Jeff's is an Alzheimer's. My bad. Misspoke. Misinformation.
Oh,
Jeff's is going to be a pumpkin.
it's got a little red and yellow.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, GB Dwayne's is.
Okay.
Keep playing dumb, Jeff. You're good at it.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to see how much new iron shows up this year.
Yes, because out west here we've got a light limited pro that was sold into McCook that we should see a handful of times.
Mm-hmm.
There's another Deere light limited pro in the Lee area that sounds like it's going to hook with us a handful of times.
Oh, good.
So no, that will be.
Will that Economod from Scotts Bluff Mitchell be out at all?
I haven't heard anything. So
was that the one that hooked at Mitchell last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. I haven't heard much, but it's I'd say very possible.
It's still kind of early.
Yes.
Kind of.
It's kind of early. It's starting to be apparent that I know I want to kick Kaylee on several of, if she starts putting that countdown, it really makes it real. And that's in July.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's not that far off.
You start getting under 60 days, it's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I hear you.
I have a lot to do yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully.
Say McCormick is just hibernating.
Just hanging out. It still runs.
It's just hibernating.
Yeah. And then I guess it's not
There you
completely
go, Dad.
new.
79 days.
Oh man, okay. We're still north of or south of 60 there. We're good. I feel better. Thank you, Kayla. We also should have another Wyoming tractor out. Jazz, you got supposed to be getting in the book.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I don't know. Am I supposed to share that?
I don't know. Is it Dan the Bear going to have to pick teams or something? Not Dan the employee, Dan the Bear.
Yeah.
Because it's also Dan, right?
Yes. Daniel. Yep.
Okay.
Dwayne should have gears in May for the Light Limited Super.
Nice.
Good.
What about the 2-wheel drive? Do we get to make an appearance with Whistle and Dixie this year? Because that, while it's not a new hook or new vehicle, it sure be nice. Be great to see that one out too.
Yeah, and
Dale Bartell starts Memorial Day weekend in Canby, Minnesota.
Oh, good old Canby. I've been there a couple times.
Memorial Day, and then I start in June.
Yeah. Well, there's a good chance I'll try to make Ravenna. But
Hopefully we don't get reined in again. That was fun. Getting towed out of the pit.
Just drink.
Yeah. I think that did happen.
On the bright side, we didn't unload any tractors that night because we were running late like usual.
I will tell you, my low light of Ravenna was laying down underneath the truck to get it pulled out when I got stuck. And let's just say it was somewhat of a corral and it wasn't all mud.
Yeah. I know where you parked.
Yeah. Lesson learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dwayne says the new engine is sitting beside it, ready to go in.
Nice.
Good.
Mark Crowley's checking in.
And we'll ask this of Mark. How's he coming on his? Because that had some pretty catastrophic damage last year. And
that's right.
Hopefully he'll be back out. That's a tough running truck.
Yes, it is. Let's see what he's. Where's he from? Is he up by
just right on the Minnesota-Iowa border, if I'm not
Worthington?
mistaken. It's not Worthington, I don't think. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know why Slayton or something like that rings a bell.
Yes.
But yeah,
I think that is right. Yep.
There's still a few things in the package.
Yep. Good job, Dale. Yeah, and
yeah, there's Dale coming in on that. Derek Moody's still waiting on sheet metal and then tearing it back apart for new paint.
Yep.
That'll be nice.
Ugh, yeah, that's one I'm not getting done this year yet.
Yeah. Dan's just working on everything else. We're glad that Dan's working on what Dan's working on this year because there's a handful of us that need to try to catch up a little bit.
Right.
So as long as he's spending money on living quarters and stuff like that, that helps, Dan. Appreciate
it. Anything I can do to
yours just needs to stay together for a whole season, Dad.
Which one?
The 560.
Yeah, that's got to get in here pretty quick because I do need to order some gears and stuff. And
oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's never a good day when you load it in neutral.
No. And have it in gear.
Crowley said he's taking the air off to heal from the stroke he had last summer.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mark, I don't know how to say this. I think the truck had more problems than Mark, but Mark had his fair share of medical issues, and be good to get him back out.
Yeah.
The truck.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, wow. June 16th.
What is that?
That's when I start my season, I guess.
Where are you going?
Tremont, Minnesota. Horsepowers and hangovers.
That sounds like a Dan pull right there.
We'll find out.
Yeah. So what's the story? You gotta spill. What's the story on that?
Do you know Josh Timms?
No.
Okay. He's got I believe he pulled with, is it Northeast maybe or something?
Okay.
He's got I believe a two-wheel drive pickup, and he asked if I'd bring my tractor up there for that event. So,
but he pulled the Northeast, the Northeast tractor group, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Evan would be the one that could tell you way more than I could.
Yes.
So, but no, he asked if I'd bring my tractor up. So,
oh, that's always fun to get into that. And that sounds okay. You mentioned that because that pulls just east of Worthington a ways, just on the southern border of Minnesota.
Yeah, like north of Jackson, I believe. So, but it sounds like a good time from what I've heard.
Brian Fear wants to know if you need a co-pilot.
Sure. I even have room for your tractor.
Dale says that looks fun online.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like a really good time to have a car show and stuff like that. They don't actually
dyno, car show, truck pull, dirt drags.
Yeah, and they
food
don't
trucks, possibly a band, kids activities.
Yeah, and they don't exactly have a class for my tractor or whatever, but they wanted me to bring it up. So
oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah. Oh. In the wagon, spend the night. There you go. Yeah, Josh's a good guy. He does heavy haul or whatever, mega heavy hauls, and they've been doing some work out here, and I got to know him. And good guy, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be a good time. Hopefully, my tractor's done by then.
Your tractor? I didn't think you were working on it. Oh wait,
we're changing some things, so.
Get more weight on the nose.
Trying to. We'll see how that goes. But the problem is everything I lost last year, I gained back weight wise on myself. So maybe I didn't. I'm not doing me any good.
Did you get your shipment of Coltrane in?
No, I haven't got that ordered yet.
Oh, you're still running. You're running on empty though, right?
It's getting pretty low.
It's skinny.
And I will need it for this summer.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
Yeah. Well.
Anything else new and exciting?
Not really.
Well, you might have an Alice Chalmers done too yourself, or
well, that's Todd Vaughn's tractor. We've got. Honestly, should start assembling a motor here early next week.
Good.
And then. All goes well, we'll be looking for a dyno here in about 2 to 3 weeks. We also need an injection pump, which is supposed to be about done.
Good.
Needs to be about done.
Yeah, it's been somewhere long enough.
Right. So yeah, that'll be that. I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to that Superfield class out west. That thing could be a highly contested class because there's going to be 2 to 3 tractors capable of pulling the national series, I think.
Yeah, and we're going to have good numbers out west here with those.
There could be 4 to 5 a night, which would be awesome.
Yep, would be. That's what I like to see.
And we'll see if they can't get out east a time or two and give Adam a hard time if he ever gets his heads back. So, and also it sounded like that we might have a visitor out west a couple times from out east in the Superfield class.
Oh, really?
Mark and Tori want to hit a couple.
Yeah.
See, that'd be phenomenal.
Yep.
It's always fun to get guys to jump sides like that.
Oh yeah.
For sure, the fans. I mean, they like to. It's always new or neat to see somebody new or something different show up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
Shows so much.
Yep. And that adds to the show when you got some new guys roll into town.
Oh, absolutely.
So they're not seeing the same old.
Well, that's been an issue out west here. Is it's generally the same people over and over again.
Yep.
So,
Well, one other thing I was working on, but I can't remember.
What's that?
I thought there was something else I was working on for the season, but I can't think of it now.
No, I don't.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll get there. Thank God Kaylee said we got almost 80 days, so
Yeah.
feel much better about my life.
Shame on her.
Yeah.
And then, were you doing any tech training or anything like that?
Oh,
Then?
that's where I was gonna go.
We got to get tech tests out. I have them. I need to get those distributed through. We've got a couple. Something else to add. We've got a couple new techs that Kaylee has recruited, which is going to be awesome to have a few more people. Bigger pool to pull from, which is always nice.
Oh yeah.
Well, and I'm working on getting them scheduled, so same old people don't have to do every single one. And
one thing I'm going to add too that for our guys out there, we're trying something at David City. For the competitors, we need to make sure our Heartland Pro Stocks are going to be there in David City that night. I'm really hoping we have a good showing because it will be there will literally be a Pro Stock class in Rock Valley.
Like pickup?
Yeah. Oh. So we will have Pro Stocks in David City, and there will also be Pro Stocks in Rock Valley.
And then out west we'll have Pro Stocks in Douglas. So
east and west don't generally share a lot of hooks, but it'd be great to have a nice showing, of Pro Stock pickups there. We have increased the purse. It's not not near what the national is, but there will be 7 places, paying and $400 to win there at David City.
Nice.
David Sean Reed is ready, just waiting on a turbo blanket.
I'm jealous.
Do we need new blankets?
No.
Or are we still good?
Well, yes, no. McCormick has one that's fine. 560 needs one. So, and also the container.
We need helmets. Yeah.
I could have picked some up for you as in Lincoln Friday.
Yeah.
I never even thought about it.
Yeah, that's something that's going to have to be done here. 78 days.
Yeah. Dwayne says they should hopefully have their Pro Stock there.
That'd be awesome.
Good. It's time to get that one out.
So,
and they're working on live streaming David City too.
Yes. If you look at that, we have a chance to put together, and I think that's going to be a nice deal for Heartland. That if we can, operate and fill a need in the national group, that's stuff that it just helps both of us.
Oh yeah. And it'll be more appealing for the promoters to, have some of our classes in.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep. Is what they're doing with the live stream subscriptions, is it still going to be the same price wise and everything? Have you heard?
That I don't know. That I think it's talking to Kurt just briefly. It sounded like it's going to be very similar, but it sounded like, which doesn't matter to the people buying it, but maybe easier for us is, a little better support and some other stuff behind the scenes, but it should be very similar.
Oh, good.
And one thing else that got brought up too is the full pull bets. It sounds like that's going to be like online and ready to go this summer at select Outlaw National events.
Oh, really?
But it sounds like maybe the following year could be online for, like, they are planning on doing some of the Heartland shows and stuff like that as well.
Oh, good.
And, like Kurt and I talked, it's going to be interesting. There's no guarantees on what's going to happen, but there is a possibility that, because I read a lot of comments on pull off in different places that there is no benefit to the pullers, but it's something that could brew over a couple of years to where that money does start, depending on the action and what happens on the betting, it slowly could start trickling down to actually get money back into our purses.
Oh, that would be nice.
Don't expect a year one thing, but it could be such a thing that, like we talk, people go bet on horses all the time at Grand Island and Columbus and here and there. it easily could happen pulling on several levels.
Oh yeah. Well, and the nice thing, the benefit to it too, you got baseball. That's all you got in the summertime for those gamblers to bet on. So it's just another avenue for those guys to
I did not realize that, but they said the summer months slow down to where there's very little to bet on.
Yep. No, I think there'll be benefits to it.
We hope.
We got some comments rolling in. Chris Slaughter asked about Pro Stock 4x4 in David City.
Yes. No, we would love to have him. That'd be, it's going to be there, but it is going to be a Heartland. We did bump the purse.
That's the hard part when on the schedules is on the national schedule, there's a blank box for this class, even though it's still at the poll.
We need to, that's something, this isn't the place to air this probably, but that's something we need to discuss with the powers to be, because, you look at that, David City does have Pro Stocks, but it won't be listed on the national app. You turn around and go to the Heartland app and it's going to say Pro Stock Pickups, David City.
Yeah.
So, for the pullers, please check both sides. But that's something that admit my own deficiencies here. Jazz is going to have to remind me to call and visit with Kurt about that, because that definitely needs to be done.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have it on the same app, so you're not bouncing back and forth.
I'm going to say the schedule advertises the whole event.
Yes.
At a glance, what's all there, and then when it comes down to payout or points,
right? But the hard thing too, and this is something we're going to have to find to differentiate, is we had a big issue last year at Humboldt, Iowa, where the Heartland Light Limited Super was booked. It was listed on the national side, so it was actually listed on both, but it wasn't clear, and it was an unfortunate misunderstanding. So we have to make sure that the national, like if it would get listed on the national side of the app, that it needs to be highlighted, so to speak, so that they know that if they're running points, they need to be in, for the national group, they need to be in Rock Valley, and vice versa. If they're running Heartland points, they're going to need to be in David City.
Right. Well, listed on both, but like say it's a national and they add the Heartland, put that in there with an asterisk and
a way to signify it, but
and I think on the schedule, not so much the app, but if you look at the schedule, there's a handful of regional light limited pro hooks that are non-points. Maybe something could be highlighted that way to differentiate that. So
even on our schedule, like at Albion this year, the 32, the Super Field
is definitely national points in Albion,
and light limited mods though too.
Correct.
But so they're blank on my schedule.
Yep.
Matt Hamada's checking in, discussing the date for David City, which is the 13th.
Yep.
And Dale Bartell says those 3 long drives sound fun.
Be good for you, Dale.
They're mostly all long drives for Jazz and I. I don't know which one. I can't narrow it to 3. And Dan. Dan moved off. Yeah.
Mitchell, Hemmingford, Imperial.
Okay.
Is what he's talking about.
We're gonna have to do something for Dale. Poor guy. He's gonna get out and see a lot of nothing out here. It's gonna be pretty awesome. I can't wait.
He said he could make. I think he said he could make Imperial a 3-day.
Yeah.
What did he call it?
His
adventure.
Your good buddy Dan once said something about Hemmingford that I can't remember what he said about it. They piled up rocks at the edge of the earth, and he went almost to there, or at least where he could see him from there.
Who said that?
Rod Pasota.
Why does that not surprise me?
It's a long ways away from home for Rod. The wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah, years ago, Rod used to always come out to Hemmingford, and that it's kind of crazy looking back at the people that actually were out at Hemmingford years ago. I think it was in '95. There was a Dennis Johnson with Shag Nasty, Elmer Hogg with a Little Temptation, Pasoda, the High Plains Raider, Lyle Nelson with the Born Loose. I mean, there was some iron traveling out here. We missed
Oh
those.
God, yeah.
Some of those names got a lot bigger after they were here too.
Yeah, they did.
Like,
Yeah, Dale says he'll sightsee Nebraska.
yeah,
No, out here you want to drive most of it at night.
yeah.
You won't miss much.
I
I gotta see. We got to see a lot of Highway 2 last summer. Or I did.
The third time we crisscrossed the state on Highway 2, I was over it, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Sawyer pointed out the dead deer every time. And one time we got caught behind some road races.
Yeah, at Callaway or in that neighborhood.
Oh, at Arnold?
Yep.
Doesn't sound right, but okay.
They were in Halsey, actually, is where that was. But it was that same one that I think that goes through Arnold.
Yeah, you don't want to drive that highway's tired.
Dan,
you want to be well rested because you'll be tired by the time you go across it.
Somebody's old Ford, those plastic liners that were in the box must have blown out. And the third time I went by it, I was like, this is stupid. I hadn't moved.
Yes, you do, Dale.
Was it Guthrie Center last year? We left the night before and made it to like Maxwell. And then because we stayed at Ivan's and we got up and drove.
Guthrie was rough because it was all by itself and we just drove out there and back. So it.
Yeah,
that one buddied up with State Fair, didn't it?
No.
Was that
Randolph and State Fair.
Oh.
And I don't, if there's anybody from Randolph here, I'll apologize. I hope that pole was not my favorite last year, but man, does it look like it could be something.
Oh, yeah.
The weather killed that thing last year.
Yeah.
I have never.
Didn't you get towed into the pits?
I had to get towed into the pits. And I literally drove out the next day, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But
we didn't stay there that night. We left that night.
Oh, yeah, yes, we did. That's right. But
we went to State Fair. We tried to make it back to Lincoln.
Yeah, but I will say that pole looks like that thing could be another destination type deal like Ashton, which is awesome.
Yep, absolutely.
And that town gets behind it. So, man, I'm seriously looking forward to hopefully year 3 we finally have good weather. Chris Manata.
Oh, yeah, you didn't make it 2022.
Right. It canceled.
That's a long way home.
It canceled. I don't know what I was thinking. It canceled about the time we rolled into Omaha.
Yeah.
So and then we turned up I-29 and went to Dale's Pole at Madison, which was also fun, but
yep, it
was a long way to get there.
It was.
Our Madison and Randolph are on top of each other, though, aren't they?
Yes.
Again.
Yep.
That was probably more beer got drank at Randolph, I think, than any poll I went to this last year.
Are you serious?
Oh, you weren't in the pits or in the stands
at Randolph?
Yes.
No.
The stands.
There wasn't too many sober people out there. I
had my hands full with trying to get trucks down the track.
Yeah, those
we were set up. The sound system and mic and everything was set up like in the dugout, so we couldn't see the track.
Yeah.
That was not great.
Yeah, those people were having a good time.
Oh, you know what? Circumstance is a little different, but that was a fun poll.
Yes, it was.
You could just see that it. What about?
I don't know what he's asking.
Maybe he's talking about the beer consumption at Palmer.
Well, you can't count that because there was so much free beer. So.
Yeah, when they have a tent and give away free beer to pull, that's might be the best kept secret in Nebraska for a pull.
Yeah, word gets out.
Needs to. That's a great pull too.
Yep, I'd love to see more people show up to that because That's probably my second favorite.
Oh,
I had
okay, yeah, the beer consumption. Talking about Randolph. Here you go, Dan.
Yeah, something like that. Rumor has it. I was just as shocked as everybody else was, Jeff.
Oh shoot.
No, good times. I had a great time last year.
Oh, for sure.
And just get
Yep.
better, hopefully.
Right.
So,
Okay. Well, anything else, Jazz?
Not that I know of.
Dan?
My group chat's blowing up for the coloring book tonight, so
Good.
that's good.
Keep that thing cranking. That's a neat project.
One thing I do want to throw out, Greg, I guess I just will get this out now and pick everybody's brain. But those pullers in the Heartland division that have merchandise that they'd like to sell, I'm looking at setting up a tent or a booth or whatever at our pulls that we go to. So if anybody has merchandise they want to sell, more than welcome to get a hold of me and get something set up so we can help sell the merchandise, because we don't have a lot of pulls where the pits are open. So I'd like to give the fans an opportunity to buy our stuff, and also us as pullers.
Honestly, most of the pits are open. It's unfortunate a lot of places don't take advantage of it like they could.
Right. So
Yeah, sure.
Just throwing that out there. So if anybody has stuff they want to sell or would like to get stuff made to sell,
Yes.
get in touch with me, and I got somebody that'll run the booth and everything for us, and got set up for so people can pay with credit cards and stuff like that too. So
Oh, nice.
let alone with cash. So yeah, I'm trying to get it all set up. So kind of help some of us put fuel in our tanks and get our merchandise out there.
Yep, for sure.
My t-shirts, hopefully I'll have a design by next week. I guess my artist is supposed to have that done next week, our rendition. So
yeah,
time to start thinking about that stuff too, because that doesn't come in overnight. So
no, absolutely. No, that is a great idea. And hopefully we can kind of partner together a little bit on some of that. That'd be great.
Yeah. And if, it'd be nice if the Outlaws, we had some Outlaw shirts of some sort that we could market as well. So
yeah, see, and that gets a little tricky. That'll be a conversation with Delton possibly and Kurt. I will take that up for sure.
Yep. So
Tori wants some merch.
You can pay for it if you want. You can have all you want.
Wrong color, Tori. Wrong color.
Nah, she's colorblind. If you get enough booze in her.
Well, and some of the stuff, I'd like to incorporate some of the crowd involvement, like throwing out some of the towels and stuff.
Yeah.
And we can always, work it into to give you a little plug of who's selling stuff in the pits and who's got shirts or whatnot.
Well, it is also possible to possibly get to where, set a table up like Mitchell's. They've got plenty of places to set up to where you could do that. And we have done that in the past before Heartland was in conjunction with Outlaw.
Mm-hmm.
Imperial's got some space too. We used to set up there in front of the grandstands on the crowd side of it.
Yep.
Right there.
Yeah, and I don't think we'd have any problem selling merch. I mean,
no,
there's a need for it. So, like I said, I'm gonna try and get a 10 or something ordered, and still trying to figure out how to display our stuff without having a lot of setup. So that's why if people have stuff, I'd like to get it right away so I can get it.
So last year I messed with setting up shirts. Those like tote thing. I don't know what those things are called. Dad, they're like you put them together. They're metal, and you make like cubbies out of them.
Yep.
So I made a stack of those so like sizes could go in each little pocket, and it just set up on a table, and then.
If we do shirts, what I was thinking is fold them, put them in like a Ziploc bag, size them, put them in a tote, but have a shirt or hat or koozie or whatever out for display.
Well, and that's what I did with those deals is when I'd pile the shirts in and then put hangers on them like 2 on hangers to hang them up so they could see them.
Yeah.
And then
So-
when they were done, the bags, I had them in Ziploc bags by size.
Yep.
And then put them into however many totes.
What we did is for 2 or 3 years, we got a Heartland shirt every year and put different pullers on it. But that, you know.
The hardest issue we had was having an extra person to set up a table somewhere.
I've got that covered.
Because but that's what I'm saying. For us, it was like I could do it at entry and registration and pit passes. But then once I went to sit with the announcer for distances.
Yep.
Or needing someone, or some places having someone more crowd accessible, because somewhere was
right.
Dale says hope having an announcer helps with some of that, and Matt Hamada wants some Heartland koozies. That's something if we could get Kurt and
Delton
on board. Goodland offered to have some people sell stuff at a table for us last year.
Really?
He's like, you got shirts or something? He's like, we could get some FFA kids to set up a table here and sell stuff. And I'm like, that would be something
well, might be something we might have to look into something.
Yeah. But no, I'm just throwing that out there and we can brainstorm it. I just wanted to get it out there plenty of times. So
Tori has some stuff to sell and said to let him know if you need help.
Perfect.
So there we go.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, very good. Anything else, Dan?
That's all I got.
All right. Well, Jazz, let's call tonight. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Next time I'll try to show up on time, maybe.
I got faith in you.
Yeah, I'm glad you do. That's a lot. A lot of people do. So, all right. Well, thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next week.